These videos are intended for an audience of 18 plus and may contain mature content. All readings are for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi everyone, it's Natalie here and we're going to do a reading today about JYP and the upcoming supposed American girl group. Leave that there. Okay. So this is brought to you from Etsy, from someone who'd like to remain anonymous, but thank you anyway. So if you were curious about the celebrity readings, you can sort of sponsor one over on Etsy if you would like to make it a priority. Otherwise, I still have my list. Yes, I know I haven't gotten to a lot of things recently, but getting back into the swing of it, starting off with this reading. Obviously, paid readings get priority. So here we are. You're always welcome to leave requests in the comments because I do look at them and appreciate them very much. All right, so I'm just shuffling some cards over here. Basically, this is about JYP's American girl group that he's looking to start, that's been delayed because of all the COVID stuff, understandably. I'm just reading the question. A company in South Korea that is wanting to make an American girl group or an American idol group. So the question is, when will the auditions be? We'll pull some cards, but that's going to be a tricky one. Timing's always a bit difficult because it's kind of fluid, but we'll see. And also, is it going to be successful? The age range and sort of, are the members diverse and that kind of thing. So we'll just have a look into this and see what comes up. All right. The first question is when. Whenever it was going to be, they already have stalled it. But this in reverse, the chariot in reverse, it's kind of like they already had the plans laid, the foundations are already set for this, but they haven't moved ahead with it quite yet. Exactly what I said in the beginning, things had to be paused for specific reasons, so a choice was made, and that did kind of upset some people and frustrate some people, particularly a feminine energy around this project. So, but this person was ultimately the one who made the decision, even through the frustration, because the environment needs to be right. They're setting the foundations and they want everything to go well and for it to be received well as well. I keep saying well all the time. Maybe that has to do with, people being sick. They just want things to be well, right? Understandably so, and then that kind of paused things with timing. Just getting another deck. I also have my timing oracle cards somewhere, which I should probably pull out for this. Alright, moonology cards. Let's see what else we can get around timing. I feel my automatic feeling is kind of like it's still up in the air a bit. Holding your vision. So they're still thinking about it. They're still going to do this. But what did I just say? Nothing is yet set in stone. I don't know if the webcam is going to pick that up. If you're noticing the quality difference between some of my videos, this one is on a webcam. The other ones are on my Canon camera. So let me know what you prefer, but sometimes it is faster to get to things with the webcam, and live streaming with the webcam is obviously a much easier setup when it comes to battery and stuff. All right, so let me just move these up. We have, nothing is yet set in stone, so it's mutable. I don't think, they did have something a plan in mind that they were going to go ahead with, but they made the decision to stop that because they're waiting for their environment to be better. So that's kind of just where they're at the moment. Your hard work's paying off. So this is actually giving them an opportunity to work on things behind the scenes a lot more, to consider different options that maybe they didn't before. Capricorn energy. We've got Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, and Taurus. So it could be around significant those times of the year. Like I said, timing is a bit difficult, and this is something that's still up in the air. So it's giving them time to work on things. Also, this is a good opportunity for anyone who has heard about this to really invest in themselves and work towards, bettering their skills. A win-win outcome is forecast, so that would indicate that yes, it's going to go ahead. There is time for healing here again. So hard work paying off. Use this time to heal and refocus your energy into what you can control. Your dreams need a practical plan. That's the Taurus energy. So there's a lot of earth energy here. A personal issue reaches a resolution. So yes, this is kind of a temporary situation. Again, it's most likely still going to go ahead. And what do you need to release? So expectations, I feel like outcome dependence is something that needs to be released here. This could be for the staff members or JYP himself, or it could be the overall candidates or people who are like waiting for this, outside as well. So it's like, what do you need to let go of? Winter time's also pictured here. So I've got winter energy, I've got the ocean, which is about your emotions. We've got kind of looks like a mountain range here, which speaks to me of like isolation, introspection, connecting and earthing, grounding, healing here. So that's kind of what I see with that. And Cancer with the very emotional, it kind of goes with this one here. It has the hard outer shell, but then soft gooey inside, alright? So that's probably going to be more of the approach towards this. It's something that's balanced, fair, very grounded with all the earth energy, stubborn, but there is like a soft center here. So there's a very high level of professionalism around this, specifically the timing of this as well. Obviously there's a lot of moving parts. Here we go. Okay, I'm just separating these. So this is a prototype deck. I still haven't figured out how I want to. I have like the artwork for the backs, but I haven't figured out how I want the fronts to look. So it's still a work in progress. But these, I've just taken out months of the year and seasons, okay? Because we're focusing on timing, and we're going to have a look at the energy around that to see if we can gauge anything else. When it comes to that, like I said, it's up in the air a bit at the moment, so it's a bit difficult to read. So May, June, January, and September. We just went past September. I don't know if there was any announcements around September when it comes to this particular project. July was also May, June, July. So it could be mid next year, 2021. 2022 would be a really good year for, I guess maybe that would be a good debut year. Or anyone who's looking to get married or have children or whatever. It's just, numerologically, it's a very good year for family commitments, community. yeah, January, May, June, July, September. So overall energy around it, Cancer Leo, what was I saying? It's more like Cancer energy is the overall energy around the general project. That's an unavoidable destiny. Politics, so, you know, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts to this, so that's something that they're taking into consideration. And this is something that JYP would consider a achievement, an accomplishment. Okay? January, the gatekeeper. So there is an element of gatekeeping with this. So you're probably going to see some prominent names or people that you may already know upcoming in the project. Not everybody, but there will be like some picks. And you would have already noticed that if you were familiar with the other projects that he's done. There are some people that you just kind of know from the beginning that they're there and they're like, oh, they're there to actually be in the end group. Like, it's almost a formality that they go through the project. Not that they couldn't screw up during the filming or whatever. Of course, they probably could, but it's sort of like they're almost... I wouldn't say it's rigged, but there is that element of, oh, they're kind of expecting that person to get into the end group kind of thing. Because of who they are or their experience or training. I don't know if you'll see any... There is a potential to see, like, in nizi, or is that how you pronounce it? That group, how they had JYP trainees, some of them in there. So there could be an element of that, or people who were trainees for other agencies, different things. There's mother energy around this. Femininity. With the Taurus, Gemini, we've got Capricorn, Aquarius, so Gemini, Cancer again, Virgo, Libra, and Cancer, Leo. So they're all the signs that are coming up here. Yeah, basically they're just waiting for the end of a turbulent time for a new beginning, like for a good opportunity for a new beginning, so they'll be really well received. All right. There seems to be an element of rituals or some sort of like celebration as well. So I don't know if that's going to be incorporated in, like, just for example, Easter. And there might be, Easter egg painting or whatever typical celebrations there are, or Thanksgiving. It's like this could be around that a significant like holiday period or something. Or maybe they'll bring a Korean holiday or tradition in on the series. Who knows? It's like an element of that around it. Could be to do with either the project, the audition dates, or the debut. Yeah, what did I say? Marriage about the year 222. June represents that very well. It's also about youth, having good luck, femininity again, love and relationships, romance, friendships, women, children, engagements, the Queen of Heaven, and September, which is a spiritual number 7. We've got the original 7th month. So that could indicate that there's 2-month delay of something. Could be the debut, could be the series airing or something like that. But it's like, oh, it was originally meant to be this, and now it's, instead of a 7, it's a 9. Do you know what I mean? 9's like finishing things up and getting ready for a new chapter, whereas 7's more spirituality and growth in that aspect. So spiritual practices, making sense of metaphysical relations to your current situation, and rationalizing miracles. So there is a bit of divine intervention around this with that September as well, where they may, rationalize those coincidences, but those coincidences are there. Just got to keep an eye out for it. It is there. Just put that away so I don't get it mixed up. Will they be successful? Let's go to the traditional manga tarot. So this is I think this one's just called the Magical Manga Tarot, and then this one's the Traditional Manga Tarot. Which I believe I have walkthroughs on my channel, so you can have a look if you're interested in seeing the deck, what they look like. Is it going to be successful? We're looking at the American JYP group and the level of success, at least initially. How's the launch going? How's the launch going? Is it a slow grind? Is it... oh. Like, what is it? King of Cups. There's JYP himself, the masculine energies will receive it very well. Okay, there is a heck of a lot of cards here. Four of Cups, that's about being kind of disappointed. And then we've got manipulation, and then we've got because the environment wasn't right. This could very much be indicating that delay, like I said in the beginning, that we've had, and if not, this could be another delay somewhere further down the line. Overall, King of Cups, remember, is our energy, so that is a very positive card. Okay, so disappointment because of manipulation in the environment. The environment is ripe for manipulation, is kind of what I'm getting. So like I said, there are some people you'll probably notice that get it easier than others, or get more airtime than others, or whatever. It's like you've been placed there deliberately. Not everyone. And also, how do you know that that person is aware that that's the situation they're in as well? So there's an element of caution around pointing the finger in that kind of thing. Perspective, controlling your inner beast. Here, also learning to be vulnerable, what to share, what not to share. And then this is someone who loses their temper a bit. So there is a feminine energy around this. We need to kind of clarify this person a bit. Okay, I feel that this is more perhaps receptivity from the audience, or maybe how someone feels that they are going to be portrayed in this, where they're like, oh, there's a different perspective on how I behave and I'm not happy with how I was presented, or this could come from outside people speaking about a certain person in here, being like, oh, I'm not happy how they were portrayed, or how this went or that went, or they should have had more screen time, or whatever that is. Well, it's kind of like the personality, the full personality isn't shown because it's this person's holding back. Like I said, you know when to be vulnerable, what to share, what not to share. This could also be the exploitation of somebody's personal story that they were told was going to be shown in a certain way, and then it gets shown in a different way or used differently because of how do we put this? Because that's what would make more money, because that's what people would pay attention to. Doesn't mean that it'll end badly for them. In fact, that person could very well be someone who ends up with the contract, because you've got the Hierophant there. Six of Swords, they're going to stay in drama for a while, and they're going to find it very difficult to get away from that. So there's going to be a level of, you really need to accept and grab the bull by the horns, something like that. You really just need to be like, all right, I'm going all in with this, and really embrace it. But this person seems to have some sort of contract around them. There's the Wheel, which is divine timing. There's the very hard work and labor. There's a little bit of loss of hope there, but there's the community in the group. Interesting. This is a really weird reading. Because I feel like instead of saying, is the group going to be instantly successful, it feels like it's jumping from one energy to another, but I don't know who these people are. And it's like I'm trying to identify what's what. So, I mean, maybe this is a separate energy connected to that as a separate person, but to me, I just thought that was kind of the same person. We'll see. all right, divine timing, good luck, but a lot of hard work. The hard work is going to feel a bit... with the star in reverse, there's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Sometimes this kind of it does represent our hopes and dreams and wishes, and then in reverse sometimes it's like, oh, we kind of lose hope that we weren't as prepared as we thought that we were for this, and there's a lot of, I guess, anxiety and fear around not being ready. This is coming from within the group themselves, I would think. But they've got a lot of good luck that's pushing them forward, and they're like, oh my god, are we really like prepared for this? It's more than what they would have expected in regards to success. And then you've got the family, friends. This is also nostalgia, so bringing people back together again. A lot of these people may have old family, friends, schoolmates, and that reach out to them, congratulating them on things. Someone in particular could have an old soulmate. Doesn't have to be a lover or anything like that, but it could just be someone, that comes in. It could be a little bit older than them, not necessarily, definitely much taller than them. But yeah, it's just like they offer that cup, like, congratulations, you deserve this. And justice is another contract card. The contracts are probably not, now we're gonna, before I go into that, yeah, the contracts are probably not going to be the best for some reason. It could be an element of people being from different places in the world, so that there's, or like I said, how some people are favored. There could be imbalances in how much people get paid and what people's obligations are and stuff between, and they may not even be able to see each other's contracts and know the differences. That could be even written in there. But there's an element of feeling, Five of Pentacles is like, oh, I feel left out in the cold, and we feel left out in the cold. There's two people here. And then that's kind of the roadblock. Could be like a gag order. Could be, and it's probably very typical and usual within K-pop itself. But with the international element and aspect to this, there's going to be more resistance and a need for like people wanting something a bit different or wanting more freedom. But I don't feel like they're going to get that. So it's just like, do you want to be here or not? This is kind of, yeah. And then there's the good luck again, the Wheel of Fortune twice. That element. Here, do I see success? Yeah. Do I think it's going to be like massively different because it's an American group compared to like Korean or Japanese? No, I feel like he's still going to want to, like, he knows what works and what's successful. And he's going to run with that. But you may end up having some outspoken people. You'll probably get people doing that generally anyway, just for attention. Around the whole thing. But it's kind of like how people say, I was almost a member of this group, and then they share their story. You'll have a bit of that going on. Okay, here we go. It's a bit hard to read because you can feel the multiple energies, but it's like, who is who? I don't know. Definitely feels female. Okay, so whatever information we have is all we're going to get currently until they decide to announce something else with the moon card. It's also feminine energy. And what is it? Scorpio, I think, is represented by this. We've got a lot of healing, so they're trying to avoid bitchy, backstabby behavior. King of Cups. The masculine energy is going to be very prominent within this, so there could be a lot of love songs and that kind of thing. not unexpected, but I do feel like this is something that JYP specifically is very excited and genuinely like finds this as an accomplishment, as something very fulfilling for him. So I wouldn't question that. It's definitely coming up here. And he's there's the justice, which is the legal system. It's making sure everything's fair, everything's, you know, above board. But like he knows he knows what works. All right. And maybe that there is an element of disappointment in the community probably coming from this here. And because overall they're focused on what isn't happening instead of like, oh, actually the Two of Cups is behind you here. You need to turn around and see that this is what we had to do in order to move ahead, to make things work, to make things successful. He's a very intelligent person. It's not just him. There's a whole team, right? And there's a lot of hard work that goes into this. Like I said, there's divine timing and very good luck around this as well. So, but they're not going to move forward unless they, you know, they can commit to it. So they're going to leave things out in the cold and let things fall away that need to fall away. And then come back in again. There's the surprise in the cup with the Page of Cups. So that emotional offer of, yay, we're going to do this. I think this is Pisces as well. That's the idea from the past. They regret that they weren't able to move forward. But the Four of Swords means that we've coming out of a time of rest. And we want to work on things because they're working on things behind the scenes, not so much in the public here. And they want to bring together like that family. There is an element, again, like I said, of that manipulation here. Manipulation and the disappointment, but the avoidance of conflict. That came up again. That's the exact same situation. Who's that around? A Queen of Pentacles? An earth sign possibly. Queen of Pentacles, they're someone who's usually financially well off, or if they're not, they're very independent. They nurture and care for people, so they give a lot to the people around them, and they make sure everyone's looked after. Sometimes they'll do it to their own detriment, but usually they're pretty good at discovering, like, after a certain period of time, they'll be like, oh, okay, you're not giving back to me, well, I'm just, you know, see ya, I'm out of here now, kind of thing, because they're very responsible, grounded people. They're the single working parents. They're, you know, it's that type of energy. You don't have to have kids, but you know what I mean. This is also a refusal to date, so I don't know if that's something they're going to talk about, but it's coming up here of turning down offers from people because you need to be more selfless. So that could have something to do with that situation. Or that could even just be a father figure, brother figure, or someone masculine energy trying to get in on something to manipulate it in a certain way. There's the Emperor. It's dad, family, nostalgia, and defenses down around. So there could be a backstory on one of them. I don't know if this is the same one as before that was being exploited, but there could be like someone opening up a bit about their dad and issues in their family, and maybe it's kind of like, even if it's not a big thing, it could just be that they don't feel very close to this person, or they're doing this, they want to make them proud or something like that. Or maybe they come from a family that doesn't have much. You know, the environment's not that great and they want to change things around. All right, so let me just try to get these all together. So the Hangman keeps coming up in regards to this group. So I do feel like our overall perspective will be challenged when it comes to them. I wouldn't expect something that's totally different to what we've already seen when it comes to diversity, as in like body sizes and stuff, because like I said, JYP knows what works. He knows what he's looking for in a group. That's not to say that there won't be diversity like with that, but I just mean to the extremes. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but you guys who are into K-pop, I feel like you're gonna, especially if you've watched the Nizi and Twice and even go back to Girls' Generation and other groups. Like, if you were someone who was looking for advice because you wanted to audition, for example, that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's do your research. There is an unlimited amount of information already out there for you. Look into who JYP is. Look into the interviews. Look at the actual show, and then you can see the girls' interviews of the people who like do or don't get in. See if there's anything out there. Like I said, some people do try to take advantage and be like, "Oh, I was almost in this thing." So it's like a discernment around that, but still being open to other perspectives in the situation. It's definitely a lot of hard work. So, like fitness, a healthy body, intuition, with their celebrations. So they want people who are team players when it comes to this group. You have to be able to work well together because the team is only as strong as the weakest link. So you have one person that's messing around, dating, doing, things, sending pictures to their boyfriends that they don't think will ever come out. It's like, excuse me, if you're part of this group, it's most likely going to come out no matter how, how much you trust them, even if it's not from them and it's from hackers or something. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, don't be silly. This is a professional thing. So it's kind of like, are you daydreaming? Is this a fun daydream? Well, then maybe you can make your own music and start your own stuff. Instead, do dance covers or whatever. Or are you the kind of person who has the fortitude to deal with this? Let's have a look at kind of the diversity in here. Definitely people that are outside of their comfort zone. So that you're going to have a few people that are like, why am I here? Some introverts. Or extroverts as well that are being, it's kind of like when you've had the freedom to and you're always told you can do whatever you want, just be your authentic self and you can express yourself freely, and then you're in a situation where you're like, actually I can't do that because this is a very professional situation and people are very critical of this, and anything that I say and do is going to be criticized and also reflects badly not only on me but on my career and my teammates and my boss and everything like that. So it's very team player energy. So people are going to be asked to face the reality of the situation, and it may put people very much outside of their comfort zone. Then there's a resurrection here. So like I said, there could be someone who either is a trainee currently with JYP or was a trainee or has done some kind of something. I don't know if they've released something in the past. That's probably going to be information that'll come out soon, or at least either soon before the show airs or during the show. It's like, I feel like it's just like no knowledge, whatever that is. Okay, you've got temptation. There's definitely a temptation that they're thinking about and they're not quite sure what to move forward with in regards to diversity. It's like, well, we could just stick to Asian American or, very similar looking type of people. We know that works or whatever, but it's like we have a choice to make in regards to, and this is definitely diversity because you can see there's black and white in like their hair color. So to me that was kind of like that they're different. I do feel like that's something that they are still talking and considering about. Again, touchy subject. There's the tower, there's the healing, so there's some sort of divine intervention of like, hey, it could even just be as simple as an idea, like boink, you get boinked in the head. Something's unbalanced here that needs to be healed. So this could just be, what I'm getting is the word expectations around what a diverse group looks like and how that would actually work, because it is different. And then here's things coming to fruition. here. This is, for some reason I'm getting this, even if it's aimed at doing more love songs or things towards men, I feel like it's, the group itself is actually going to have a very high feminine fan base that they probably won't be expecting. There's resistance to change around that. Yeah, family, community, people coming together. Empress energy, female energy, strong, independent woman energy. You could even get the kind of Blackpink vibe instead of, like, do you know what I mean? The bad girl or female empowerment type of vibe. I don't know what specific genre you would call that. Do you know what I mean? It could be more like that, but with more people in it. And they could get stuck in a certain image, is what I'm seeing as well. Here, for the money, for the environment, for the community together. There's the relationships and the healing. Yeah, I feel like it's more receptive to a female audience for some reason. It's not saying that guys aren't going to like it. I just feel like they actually have a lot more, maybe they'll do a lot of cosmetic ads or collaborations, or they'll lean into, or find that they end up leaning into something lucrative in that aspect that they didn't expect to. Because maybe they were like, oh, we're going to do super sexy stuff. We will see about that. Age range is hard. I mean, Strength 8 of Wands came out. Maybe there's going to be like an 8-year variety gap between the eldest and the youngest, potentially even just in the auditions, because that's what we're looking at now. Leo energy, Strength, that's an 8, isn't it? 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 twice. 8's also infinity, so it's all inclusive. It's kind of continuing the cycle of things. You may have an element of generational... What is this? Kind of like someone coming from a musical family or something. I don't know. I'm not sure how that relates to age, though. Maybe it's because it's generational, because that's age. You could see some very interesting, like, guests come in. Guest judges and stuff, if they are open to it. Online communication with a prominent person, watching them work on things and supporting from a distance. Someone who may already have a contract somewhere else even. I don't know if that'll be another JYP artist or producer or something, or if it's a former person or someone from another company, but it's kind of like I can say and support online in other ways, maybe not practically in person, but like from a distance. I don't know who that is, but they're very excited. So there are other prominent people in the industry who are probably artists who are going to keep an eye on this thing. So if that's what you wanted to know, then that's definitely there. Yeah, have a look at, is it nizi, why do I keep saying it funny? Twice, Girls' Generation, like IOI, groups like that came from those kind of shows, and have a look at the people in those shows. How do they present themselves? What came across as more successful? What didn't? It's not about changing yourself to become someone completely different, but more refining, and that strength energy, that knowing where to restrain yourself, what to share, what not to share, what's a level of professionalism is here, because not everyone is kind of used to behaving in that way or has had like PR training. Also, it's a good time for people to do extra training where possible, even if it's just on their own, even if it's just doing research, exercising, because you need a lot of physical stamina to be in a group like this. Let's not get it twisted. Alright, is there anything else I guess I usually do the dark mirror, so let's just see what kind of obstacles there might be. I feel like it's more infighting without even having to look. Schoolyard BS that wouldn't fly over in Japan or Korea. They may come across some of that here. The child I was meant to be, an element of entitlement, or you will have some people who... That's an 8 as well. Also, what's 8? Is that August? No. Yes? I don't know. There's another 8, forgetting oneself. So, like I said, it's not about changing yourself. It's about tempering yourself, learning when to... It's learning your professional, persona, rather than changing who you are as a person. But that's going to be a bit of a struggle for some of the people, because some of them may be quite young here, where they haven't developed that sense of self yet. And that is coming up as an issue here. Downcast pride. So that has to do with the interactions between one person and another, or, within the group, the auditions themselves. It's kind of like you need to get your head out of your butt, and you got to work with these people. You got to be kind to them, because everyone's under the same sort of pressure. It's like, yeah, you are kind of competition, but then at the same time you also need to work together, and you're each other's biggest support, but you're also the biggest challenge. And that is something that will be prominent, or that may come up. And then there's 7, which is fated to suffer. So I do feel like there's that element of that poison apple, that temptation. The devil card did come up before as well. 6, and that's another 8, peaceful among thorns. So the challenge here is to find your own inner peace in the situation that you're in. See, there's all these like pointy things pointing at this person, yet they're chilling, they're meditating, they're very calm, no matter what it is, no matter how class? What? Maybe it happens in class, I don't know. But no matter how close, if you imagine like a pin going near your eye, or something like going really close to your eye, and you have to stay calm no matter how close it gets to you, it will never touch you. And you might even know it's not going to touch you, but you have to like not flinch. You have to keep the peace no matter what's going on. All right. And this is also a warning not to have a pity party. It's like you feel like you're so hard done by, and you think that, yes, there are maybe other people who have kind of worked for this ever since they were kids, and they're getting preferential treatment, so you think. But it's like you need to focus on yourself, and you're keeping this inner peace and putting your pride and ego aside, and trying to get to know yourself and express yourself within this new creative outlet that you have. Because it's not an opportunity to be, taken for granted. There's a bit of a fairy tale element here with that card too. Maybe look up Snow White if that's something you're interested in. So, when is very difficult, but hopefully this answered some of your questions. It's a very long reading, so I hope that this gave you some clarity and insight into the situation around JYP's American Girl group. The energy is definitely there, so we're just going to have to wait and see how things pan out. It may not be for a while, but keep your ears open for information on... I'm not sure where exactly you would go to get the information on auditions and stuff, so if anyone knows that, put it in the comments, because that's going to help some of the other people that are wondering, because I have no idea. I'm not American. I don't know where you go to stay up to date on that information. But I hope that this video helped you guys. Thanks again for booking it on Etsy to you who would like to remain anonymous. If you want to book a celebrity reading, please do so over on my Etsy account. The link is in the description below. You can book a personal reading, and personal readings come up as unlisted, so only you and anyone who has that link can view it, whereas the celebrity readings is public. It's why it's a bit cheaper kind of thing. Hopefully I'll be getting back to live streaming soon. I don't know when, so I'm not going to say exactly when. I have a few other things that I need to finish up first. And yeah, so I don't really know what else to say. Just thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.